Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees in today's session of the Secrets of Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Today we are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and text number 21. Let us start. वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययं कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O Parth, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Purport. Everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. Similarly, violence also has its utility, and how to apply violence rests with the person in knowledge. It's a very important point. Everything has got utility in life. So, similarly, within the context of Mahabharata war, Lord Shri Krishna uh, wants to convince Arjuna to see the utility of violence uh, and execute his duty as a Kshatriya as his dharma urges him. So Arjun is supposed to fight, and there will be some consequences. There will be loss of material bodies, but here the bigger picture is that to protect dharma, sometimes violence is mandatory. So in Vedic culture, nowhere we find uh, encouragement of just violence. Here we are talking about violence, that which is meant for protecting dharma. So, in technical term, it is called sadhu himsa. So, it's not just himsa; it is sadhu himsa. So, what that word sadhu himsa means? These are the words of Arjuna, right from Mahabharata. So, Arjuna, uh, at one place in Mahabharata, um, explains that people glorify ahimsa or non-violence, and that is perfect. And sometimes it is also necessary to demonstrate violence to protect dharma. So that is also understandable. So the natural conclusion is that everything in this material world has some advantages and some disadvantages. Or uh, in other words, we can say that everything has got guna and dosha. He has Everything has some qualities, good things, good aspect of that particular thing, and there are some uh, uh, how to say ill effects of that particular thing. So in the whole creation, there is not such a thing which has only merits, which is not having any faults. So concerning this fact that everything has some qualities and everything has some faults. So whatever is necessary to protect dharma, that should be the proper guideline. So that is the guidance available from Mahabharata in Arjun's words that Just by ahimsa, we cannot protect dharma, and just by himsa, that is also not conducive uh, for in protecting dharma. So we have to strike the balance. So the general encouragement is to be non-violent or to favor ahimsa. However, when dharma cannot be protected by uh, ahimsa, by the means of non-violence, then sometimes hinsa is also mandatory. It's not necessary; it is mandatory, and that's called sadhu himsa or proper himsa. So, when there is understanding, then Arjuna at this point is not supposed to get bewildered about his duty because they, when there is sadhu himsa, there will be killing of people. Killing of people means but killing of material bodies, and that's something simply unavoidable. We shouldn't be living in a dream world. It's a reality that sometimes to protect dharma, it is mandatory to execute violence, uh, and we have to simply accept this fact. So Arjuna, being a person in knowledge, is supposed to know how to apply the element of himsa or violence in protecting dharma, and that's what has been mentioned in the purport that everything has got some utility. So violence also has its role in the world. It's not that we had violence. We had violence in a sense that uh, it should not be an expression of just someone's frustration. Here, the violence has a proper utility in protecting dharma. So that violence is admirable, uh, and that is praiseworthy. So the same principle we can see in uh, almost all things around us. For example, we have this material body. So according to Vedanta, it is avidya or it is ignorance. The body is made of ignorance because it leads us to false identification. Because once we accept the body, we tend to think in terms of this body or things related to this body. For example, we create a family, we create parents, we create brothers, we create children, and so on. So everything is in relation to this material body, and so uh, we can say that having accepted this body, we uh, uh, or our bodily identification with the body uh, gets stronger and stronger uh, if you do not practice knowledge, because that's a natural outcome of having accepted a body. So, in one sense, body is ignorance. It has got absolute no utility for us because the only utility we see that it indulges us into ignorance. However, if you see from the other perspective, that this body, when applied with knowledge, makes some sense. So, with knowledge, the body can be utilized in advancing in knowledge, and in that way, the material body, which is a emblem of ignorance, also has some utility. So that is also a consideration or should be a consideration for everyone. And there are many things. For example, having kids. So no one is opposed to having sex life or having kids. So we can have it in a way mentioned in Dharma Shastras. So then having a wife or having a kids or having a family, it's not an issue. When something becomes an issue, when we act in ignorance. So if a person is in knowledge, then everything makes sense, everything is perfect. because everything in the world has got some utility. So uh, let us not assume that just sometimes the Mayavadis or Keval Advaitins, they have this idea that everything is mithya. So give up everything. But that is not the point of view of Vaishnavas, who are uh, who actually understand the philosophy uh, from Srimad Bhagavatam and Vedanta Sutra, and that is not the conclusion. So not everything is mithya or false or useless, and everything has got utility. So Vaishnavas has the philosophy of Yukta Vairagyam. Yukta Vairagyam means that we have to engage everything in the service of God, in the service of Lord Shri Krishna. So by such uh, divine connection with Lord Shri Krishna, everything becomes beautiful. Madhuradipati Rakhilam Madhuram. So ordinarily, uh, whatever may sound as Maya or ignorance or sense objects, everything becomes divine when it gets into touch with Lord Shri Krishna. So if we have Lord Shri Krishna in our life, or when we act in knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then everything becomes Vaikuntha. So we are not against anything. And anyway, nothing belongs to us. So where is the question of giving up everything? The giving up anything comes into picture when we have something. And the reality is that we actually do not possess anything. So there is no question of giving up anything. What to give up? You don't have anything. It's like Baker saying that I'm giving up this uh, this particular bank. I'm renouncing this particular bank. Come on, you are a beggar. You don't have anything in your hand. It- So you're saying that you are giving up this bank. It does not make any sense. It's laughable. So similarly, when we say that we are renunciant or we are practicing renunciation, that is actually false renunciation. The actual renunciation is that we have to engage everything in knowledge of Krishna consciousness, and that's the advice for Arjuna here in Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharata, that as a Kshatriya, he should execute his duty without uh, much worried about the consequences because it is simply unavoidable. This is something which everyone should understand, that just by ahimsa things cannot be solved. Sometimes people propagate ahimsa, Buddha's theory. Yes, we should have non-violence. Yes, we love non-violence. Who will not love non-violence? So all sadhus or saintly people appreciate non-violence. We are for non-violence, but when things do not get solved by non-violence, then there has to be sadhu himsa. So it's all about the uh, realizing realizing the reality of life. World affairs do not happen just by non-violence. We can't just function with ahimsa. So there is a kingdom of God where there is absolutely no himsa. So we are encouraging everyone to look forward to uh, that kingdom of God, Vaikuntham or Goloka. So that's our open invitation to all humanity on behalf of God. But as long as we are in this material world, we should also understand the reality of this world. That there are people who are having uh, demonic mentality, and they will try to harass other people. They will try to uh, kill other people unnecessarily, or they may want to show their dominance over others without any proper reasons. So then, uh, to curb them down, a proper hinsa or proper violence is mandatory. I'm not saying necessary, it is mandatory. Otherwise, you can't function in this world. Okay, next. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the courts of justice. In Manu Samhita, the law book for mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death so that in his next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. So, uh, here the analogy of justice of peace or judge is given to demonstrate the point that sometimes even a justice of peace or judge has to um award punishment to a murderer, and he should not be blamed for that particular action because he is awarding that punishment or awarding that particular act of violence in accordance with the laws of the court. So now the murderer also has killed someone, and now judge is also ordering someone to be killed. So apparently both look the same, but there is a difference here. So here, when judge is ordering someone or awarding some punishment to capital punishment to someone, that is to that is for his benefit, and that is to stop violence in the world. It is not to uh, promote violence. So it's called sadhu himsa. It's not simply just judge all of a sudden develop a desire to kill someone, and he sanction uh, order to kill someone. So that is not the situation. Next, in Manu Samhita, the law book for mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death, so that in his next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. So there is the aspect of Dharma Shastra or Manu Samhita. There are many Dharma Shastra, around 20. We have Dharma Shastras, and Manu Samhita is the foremost among them. So in the Manu Samhita or the law book for mankind, uh, we have this particular injection that a murderer should be condemned to death. He should be punished. Uh, he should be given a death punishment for killing anyone. Why? Because by awarding this punishment, the person will be saved uh, uh, for his particular sin of killing anyone, because that person will not have to suffer the consequences in his next life. So sometimes we may wonder that who has seen the future, who has seen the next life, but this is not how universe governs. We have to see the world through the eyes of the one who has created this. So sometimes we argue like an atheist that we do not see universal management, or somehow we do not see uh, the follower of dharma as logical. So it may happen because things in the Shastra have not given to convince others to understand the universal management. That is also a reality. It's like we human beings are so insignificant that devas do not really care for us. They We are not supposed to get information of each and everything happening in the material universe. It's so giant that we are simply an insignificant part of that. So, for example, in what are happening in the uh, White House or any house, black or blue or whatever, just for some example. So, and a layman is not supposed to know the details of how the meetings in White House happen. So, similarly, the devas, who are the universal managers of this particular universe. So they have designed this world under the guidance of God. Lord Shri Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, has appointed them as the departmental in charges. So, uh, not everything in the material world uh, is supposed to be known by us. So, we may get some hint about that. For example, how creation began. So, we may get uh, some knowledge about that. That Brahma was created, then Brahma created different element. Lord Vishnu, sorry, Mahavishnu, Lord Mahavishnu created different elements of the universe, and then Lord Brahma was given the duty of uh, uh, awarding particular material bodies to individual souls according to their material desires. So, uh, this kind of description we see in Bhagavatam and many other scriptures. But if we expect that each and every detail of how and why should be explained to us, that simply uh, uh, we can say is over demanding, because we are so insignificant. So we are supposed to know something because we have to follow something. For example, prisoners, they have to know something about the jail, but they are not supposed to know everything about how jail works. So whatever is to be known has been given to us through scriptures. So the laws like this, that the person who has killed someone should be punished uh, by capital punishment. Otherwise, he will be uh, suffering in his next life. So that's the law of dharma, because there is reincarnation. People do get rebirth, and we also see that many people. It's a general observation that we see people without any apparent cause they are suffering, and in this particular life they have not done anything wrong. So this may be the situation, and it actually gives us uh, an encouragement to study the law of karma deeply. So that is why this particular injection uh, is there, that murderer should be punished, and this way of punishing a murderer is not a violence per se, because it is not something. Uh, it's not a expression of frustration of someone. It is a kindness of judge to award capital punishment to a murderer. So whenever kings punish someone or kill someone, kill some offenders, then that should be considered as a sadhu himsa or proper violence, because these punishments uh, have been given in accordance with the Dharma Shastra. Prabhupada also somewhere in his books mentioned that there was a king in Jammu or Jammu Kashmir, uh, and he had such stringent laws that whoever steals something, then king would personally uh, cut his hands. So that was the uh, level of punishment we see in the some 500-600 years before, and yeah, it was not whimsical. It was it, all this punishment have been given in dharma shastras. It's not that shastras only talk about spirituality. Shastra has all knowledge of uh, this world, how to live in this world and how to get out of this world. So it is a perfect guidelines. The only uh, problem with us is that we have neglected this knowledge, and somehow we have become mad after sense, sense gratification in imitation of Western immoral life. So there was a culture even in Western countries, for example, Christianity. So they also have some rules, but somehow other uh, it got degraded, and now whatever form of immoral life you see in West, we Indians are blindly imitating them. Uh, there is no reason for that. It's just simply somebody is doing that, and we are imitating that. So uh, maybe due to the influence of time, people get so dull-headed that they don't know what to imitate and what to not. So that's the only reason we can see the influence of time. Yes, we have such degraded kind of people in our society who have absolutely no, not having any common sense. So if I have to imitate something, I'm supposed to know whether it is good for me or not. I can't simply just imitate anything. So that's the uh, sad reality of this world. Next, therefore, the king's punishment for hanging a murderer is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for supreme justice, and thus Arjuna should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all, because at any rate the man or the rather the soul cannot be killed. So for the administration of justice, so-called violence is permitted, because that's also a reality. A soul cannot be killed, so we are not killing anyone. Or one who is ordering someone to be killed, that is also not killing anyone, because soul cannot be killed. So that's the purport of this verse. Kam ghateti hantikam. So uh, a person who is killing is not killing anyone, and one who is ordering someone to kill anyone, he's actually not um, killing anyone. He's not responsible for killing any person, because that person will always exist in this world. So, for the protection of dharma, sometimes uh, sadhu himsa or proper violence is mandatory. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjuna at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge. So, there is no possibility of sinful reaction. So, here fighting has been encouraged, but for what? That's a question. Sometimes people say that Bhagavad Gita promotes extremist idea, but they are simply ignorant people who comment like this. Because if you read Bhagavad Gita, there is only fighting has not been encouraged. The fighting which is meant for protecting dharma and with full knowledge of spirit soul has been encouraged. So, uh, and those who condemn such fighting, we see that they are the people who are actually uh, committing violence on a large scale. They should first correct themselves before they comment on Bhagavad Gita. So, and also we see from the pages of Mahabharata, Lord Shri Krishna personally wanted to uh, settle this matter between Pandavas and Arjuna, Pandavas and Duryodhana, uh, by peacemaking, but somehow that it didn't work. So it's not that Lord Shri Krishna didn't try for peacemaking, or Pandavas were not in favor of peacemaking, though they were highly insulted by Duryodhana. But still, being a saintly person, they opted for non-violence. They wanted some at least five kingdoms, or sorry, five villages for their maintenance. But that that were also not granted by Duryodhana. So then finally nothing worked. So there was a need of fight. So Arjuna has been advised by Lord Shri Krishna to punish uh, such a dharmic person like Duryodhana. So Duryodhana, though he had everything to live happily in this material world, but some just because of envying Pandavas, he was not ready to give even little maintenance to them. So that was simply immoral. So it was the height of immorality. And he also insulted Draupadi, who is supposed to be seen as mother. So because Draupadi was uh, wife to Maharaj Yudhishthir and other Pandavas, but Maharaj Yudhishthir was eldest among the Pandavas, and Duryodhana was junior. He was younger. So according to the Dharma Shastras, a wife of a younger older brother is supposed to be treated as mother, and instead of uh, uh, treating Draupadi as a mother, he insulted her like anything. So he was adharma personified or crime personified in modern terms, you can say. So Arjuna is supposed to punish such rascals because it is simply unavoidable. If Arjuna would not punish, then who? Who will punish such rascals? That's another question. So if every kshatriya thinks like that, that I don't want to get my hands dirty in such violence, then who will take this responsibility? Because unless this uh, such people of demonic mentality are uh, kept in control in the society, they will flourish and they will create more and more disturbance in the society. So there is a need of saintly people to particularly kshatriyas to take their role and out of duty should execute uh, proper himsa or sadhu himsa, and Arjun is supposed to simply perform sadhu himsa. So that's a purport of this particular verse. So I will stop here. If there is any question we can take, or else we can conclude. Just a minute. Just a minute. I will unmute everyone. Yes, Brenda.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. Yes, Brenda.
My voice may break because right now I'm in train. So,
Okay. No.
Prabhuji, I had a question that in the class you have mentioned that we are not the body, we are the souls. So, if
Okay.
one sentences a person to death, then he doesn't get the scene if he does for dharma. If
Okay.
a murderer also murders a person, does he get sin? Because he is murdering the body, he is not killing the soul. He cannot kill the soul. So why is he called murderer?
Okay. So murderer is killing someone. It is not to protect dharma. It is out of his own frustration. So out of envying someone, he is killing that particular person's body. So that is not allowable because dharma means dharma dhara, dharna dharma ityahu, dharmo dhara iti prajaha. So dharma means to maintain everyone, to sustain, to maintain everyone. So, so such maintaining or sustaining anyone or everyone includes maintenance of the bodies. So we had to maintain the soul and we had to maintain material bodies as well because that is dharma. That's a very definition of dharma. So uh, uh, in Vedic society, we are we are in favor of maintaining everyone, not just human beings, but even birds, animals, reptiles, everyone. So that includes their material bodies. So unnecessarily without any proper reason or without any higher reasons of dharma, one is not supposed to kill anyone's material body, because we cannot kill a soul, we cannot kill anyone's soul. So what we can kill is someone's body. So that is not allowed. So here murderer is killing someone's material body, as you said, but that is uh, uh, out of his frustration or envying that particular person. It is this particular killing is not done to protect dharma. So what we discussed, that to protect the dharma, sometimes violence is necessary. Generally, dharma has been protected by ahimsa. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Ahimsa or non-violence is the topmost dharma, because by not killing anyone, all living beings get maintained. That's a very simple logic. If you don't kill anyone, so they will be maintained. So, but if you, but sometimes to protect some people or protect uh, some living being, it is also necessary or mandatory to kill some particular person. For example, uh, one commentator on Mahabharata gives his analogy that in a uh, uh, suppose a tiger comes to a goshala or cow shed, and uh, his intention is to kill cows. So now, if he if we see the tiger and if we have the some strength to fight with the tiger, then we must fight with him or punish him so that the tiger will not eat cows. So uh, the act of killing tiger is the uh, dharma, because it was done to save mother cows. So if someone kills tiger on his own or just for his own entertainment, that is wrong. But here, tiger punishing tiger to protect mother cows is an act of dharma. So here, violence is there, but that is not just violence. It is proper proper violence or sadhu himsa. So we are against violence, but we are not against proper violence or sadhu himsa. We should remember this word sadhu himsa. When dharma cannot be protected by ahimsa, that time sadhu himsa is mandatory, because only through sadhu himsa or proper violence dharma can be protected. So that the reason matters why we are doing this particular act. So, for example, in yajna also we are supposed to uh, uh, offer some wood and so many things, and inevitably some insects will be killed. So that's simply unavoidable. But because the act of performing yajna is done for protecting dharma of all living beings, so it is justified, because it was not done for killing anyone per se. It was not the intention, but it was simply unavoidable. So similarly, when uh, someone a judge punishes a murderer, so that is simply unavoidable, because that person has killed someone's material body uh, for his own reasons. It was not done for protecting dharma. If it were done for protecting dharma, then it makes sense. Then judge will award that person. For example, in a war, a commander gives an order to a soldier that you shoot the uh, soldier from other side. You shoot the enemy. So that soldier, for killing his enemies, will be rewarded, though he is also killing someone. But If someone just for his own entertainment or for his own personal immoral reasons kills anyone, then he should anyone means kills anyone anyone's material body, then he will be punished. That's understanding. Is that clear or Hare Krishna?
Yes, if violence is done in revenge, then what is the commentary for that? If someone kills a person because that person killed his relatives or his neighborhood, and again he wants to kill that person like tit for tat, then what to say about that? Because in this he doesn't kill somebody for his personal needs or for his personal enjoyment, but he wants to take revenge. And he's not complaining to the judge also. He's personally going to kill him.
No, that revenge also should be according to the dharma. The for every action there is guideline from dharma shastra. So it's not that just because we have to take some revenge and we may be justified for that, but that revenge should be according to dharma shastra. For example, if someone actually attacked us, our family members, so naturally we are supposed to defend ourselves or defend our relatives. But suppose it happens that somehow other some relative got injured uh, or got killed for uh, unavoidably. So taking revenge does not allow that we have to kill that the another person, because it is dharma who decides how someone should be punished. And that's why you were not there in our previous sessions. I mentioned that it is the duty of kshatriyas to punish. It's not that brahmanas or vaishyas or shudras they will take up this role of punishing anyone. So there will be a particular class in the society who are who have given this responsibility to punish. So kings are supposed to punish someone, or those who are dharma adhikaris. For example, in the village, we'll see some sarpanch or five people managing the whole village, and they will decide that this person should be punished. So, similar, the same thing we see in that in modern context, that there are uh, courts, different courts in our society, and on behalf of the government, they give punishment. It's not that every single person is allowed to just take revenge. So if someone has done something wrong, that does not allow you to do another wrong, right? If killing is wrong for no reason, so then your killing just because you got hurt, that is also not allowed. So we understand that there is something, someone has done something wrong with you, but then there is a way to react. Revenge is not the solution. So, and we see that even in the history of our Vedic person, we see even Lord Parshurama. So he wasn't uh, really glorified for killing so many kshatriyas unnecessarily. So definitely, uh, uh, who was that king? King Kartavirya. So he did something wrong with Parshuram's father. And Parshuram, uh, though he was a Brahmana, but he took up the task of a Kshatriya, and he killed uh, so many Kshatriyas out of revenge. And because of that, then he was advised that he should give up his weapon. So he's still present among us. He is on Mahendra, Mount Mahendra. So it's not that he was glorified for that. So of course he has some particular reason to appear in this world. He was he's a Kshatyavesh avatar or empowered incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna. But And in this past time, we also see that he was also not he was actually discouraged from killing because it was simply unnecessary. So Brahman is not supposed to take up arms. So under emergency, Parshuram had to take up his role because there was no one to punish Kartavirya. But uh, if so under circumstances, it may happen that because there is no some arrangements, there is not some there is no one to punish the criminal. So under those circumstances, Brahmanas may take up the role of Kshatriyas. Sometimes it's not always, but that is not an allowance for all the times. So under normal circumstances, Lord Parshuram was advised to give up his weapons because that was not his duty to act as Kshatriyas always. So that's the understanding. So you may have the feeling of revenge, but that has to be uh, expressed as per Dharma Shastras, not whimsically. Any whimsical action is not encouraged uh, in Shastras. That's the point. So if you have some doubt that now someone has done something wrong with me, how to react? Then look into Dharma Shastra, look into Shastra. Ask those people who are learned in Shastra uh, uh, about our reaction. Okay, I think I should stop here because we are over time. Okay, thank
Hare
you,
Krishna, bro. Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna.
much, bro.
Thank you all for joining. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna.